One of the biggest questions in Infinity War is this. If Doctor Strange could trap Dormammu in a time loop, then why didn't he do the same thing to Thanos? At first, it honestly feels like a plot hole, because in Doctor Strange, we literally see Stephen Strange walk into the dark dimension and use the time stone to create an endless loop. Dormammu kills him again and again and again. But every single time the loop resets, Strange still remembers what happened, and eventually, Dormammu gets so frustrated that he's forced to make a bargain just to escape. So why not use that exact same trick on Thanos? Well, the answer actually comes down to one very important detail. Dormammu is a being that exists outside of time. The dark dimension has no natural flow of time at all. That's why when Strange introduces a time loop there, it completely breaks Dormammu's understanding of reality. Imagine someone who has never experienced time suddenly being trapped inside it. To Dormammu, the loop was torture because he could remember every reset but had no control over escaping it. And Strange could remember too because he was the one using the time stone and casting the spell. But Thanos is completely different. Unlike Dormammu, Thanos exists inside the normal flow of time, just like every other living being in the universe. Which means if Strange trapped him in a loop, the timeline would most likely reset Thanos completely each time. He wouldn't remember previous loops the way Dormammu did. It would basically be like restarting a video game checkpoint over and over, while the character inside has no idea it already happened. So instead of mentally exhausting Thanos, Strange would probably just trap himself in an endless cycle with no real progress. And that's only the first problem. The second issue is even bigger. When Strange fought Dormammu, he had complete control of the time stone. But during Infinity War, Thanos already possessed multiple Infinity Stones, and each one gave Thanos insane levels of control over existence itself. So even if Strange somehow created a loop, there's a strong chance Thanos could simply overpower it or break free using the other stones, especially the Space Stone, which manipulates dimensions and movement across reality. And remember this too, Doctor Strange already looked into over 14 million possible futures. Out of all of them, only one ended in victory. That means Strange probably already tested countless possibilities using the time stone. And if the time loop strategy could have worked, he would have seen it. Instead, he willingly gave Thanos the time stone because he knew the only winning future required Tony Stark surviving long enough to snap later in Endgame. So in reality, Strange didn't forget to use the time loop. Marvel actually gave us the answer years earlier. Dormammu was vulnerable to the loop because he existed outside of time. Thanos wasn't. And against someone wielding multiple Infinity Stones, even time itself wasn't enough. If you have other thoughts, feel free to share in the comments below.